Right, we should be back up and running now. We're going on to LARP. Ask Davey. Sorry about this, mate. Richy, should I say?
What's it? Ooh, 2-0 now to Sheffield United.
Right, we should be back on now. Sorry about that. I mean, if I've got any echo going on, just have to put up with it until I find out what's going on. Right, we should be back on now. Right, that seems to be fine. Davey is not with us. Anybody is just joined. Yeah, thanks for Richy for holding the fort while I get these sound settings sorted out. But like I say, even these multi-million pound
Your mic's gone off again, Cabbie.
is having a temper tantrum, so he can't have his meal upstairs. This is another thing what other YouTubers don't have as well, you see, is having to deal with the kids. So I've got that to deal with as well.
Kids come first, mate.
I do, but like I say, massive thanks to Richy for holding the fort, and he's done it. He did a cracking job there, didn't he, don't you think? So what were you talking about?
Waffling.
What were you talking about, Richy? What were you saying?
We were discussing, obviously, you know, who would start in the back four and who would start up top tomorrow. There was a couple of people mentioning in the chat, obviously, to put Alan Brown in. Sorry, I can't remember the name of them.
Yeah.
To put Alan Brown in at fullback, because apparently he's played fullback before Preston, which I didn't know about. So that may be a shout, but I think rumour has it, I think it's Joe Anderson that's going to get a start tomorrow. So whether he starts at left back or if he starts at full centre half, that'll be a one to ponder. And then it'll be about we're having a discussion about starting either Meander or Roberts on the wing tomorrow because to use the pace. I mean, what do you reckon, mate?
I don't know. I get mixed reviews from Brown. You know, some fans say he's alright. Some fans say he's not all that. He's not really missed when he's on. But I don't know. I just don't know. Packet Andrello, mate, you alright? Is it true that Rigger's leaving Sunderland, or is it just a rumour? That's just going to go on and on and on. Packet, that's just going to go on and on and on and on with Riggy Boy and all that carry-ons. Same with Bellingham as well. Goodness knows. But the way Riggs been playing, some fans say he'd not be a bloody miss, to be honest with you, the way he's been going on. I don't know.
So would you take 38 million from them, Cabbie?
I'd snap the hands off.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely snap their hands off, to be quite honest with you. Is it half time in the Sheffield United game?
Yeah, they're winning 2-0, mate.
And is it half time, is it?
I'm just checking now, buddy.
Just check my level on my microphone.
No, it's just kicked off. 40th minute now.
Yeah. It's mad though, isn't it? How the fact like Coventry were just like Barcelona against us, and then it's like all of a sudden the playing like they are against Sheffield United, and it's like were they that good or was Sunderland just that bad? Yet David Walker's second half's kicked off now. There's probably quite a few viewers buggered off now and watched the game because they've given up on the stream when it the sound thingy off. But that's just hey ho the way it goes. But it's weird though, isn't it? I mean, do you think Coventry were just immense, or do you think we were just absolutely that bad that made them look good? Do you know?
I think that Haji Wright had an absolute unbelievable game. I think that's one of the keys to why we got hammered off him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he'd just come back, hadn't he? And Lampard put him back to his position where he wanted to play. So was he, on his game that day to say to Lampard, look, this is what I can do if he plays here. So I think that's another consideration. But we were just so poor, Cabbie. We were terrible, man. I think yes, they've had a player who's on form and on fire, but it was just a sluggish performance, wasn't it? It was just a nothing performance. I mean, did we even have a shot on target or?
We were just
Remember.
Sorry, Rich, carry on, mate.
No, cool,
mate. We were just no competition for them. We just didn't. Do you know it was that bad? We might as well have just not turned up and put the under-21s on. As a matter of fact, I think the under-21s would have given them a better game.
Yeah.
And I know people say, well, why we're still going on about the Coventry game? It's just because the fact like it really annoyed us that, and it's like I would love to know what Regis Lebre or somebody said at full time, because I would have strung them upside down by the testicles after that performance.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. They're not world beaters. Look at them against Derby. Look at them again tonight, and it's just football's mad. I mean, we played Sheffield United off the park at the Stadium, didn't we? And then I just don't know. I mean, I'm not watching the game. Obviously, if anybody's seen it, are you watching it, Rich? Can you see it? Are they playing well?
Oh, no, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it, mate. But I mean, it's just one of them. I think it's just Sheffield United now finding the form. Are they going to be? Are they going to win the league now? Because I think they might, especially with this form that they're actually coming into. And Leeds are struggling. But,
well, Leeds is going to feel massively uncomfortable after tonight's result. Now, a lot of the pundits on TalkSport were saying like it's a guaranteed banker of a win. Leeds United are at home against a poor Swansea City side, but as we all know in this division, there's nothing ever a banker in this league. And if Leeds United fail to get a win tomorrow, which to be quite honest with you, I can't see anything but a win for Leeds. But if they didn't, then you know what I mean. There's gonna be, the wheels falling off and Leeds are falling apart again. They sing that for a reason.
Yeah.
Leeds
playing tomorrow.
Eh?
Who are Leeds playing tomorrow?
Swansea at home. Oh well, I think it's tomorrow. I'm just going to read on the chat again. Sorry. Yeah, David Walker said about the Coventry City game. Then we made them look that way. Packer says I would sell 38 million for Rig. He says that's far too much for such a young kid, and you can't imagine him going for that price. Ollie says, how long are you planning doing the second half for? We're going to be going on till about past, mate, because it was about a 15-20 minute delay. D Hall says, sound good now. He says, Rich did a good job holding the fort. He did an absolute fantastic job. He did.
Cheers, mate. Just waffling on.
Can't pull. I'm just having a look at the stats. Ball possession. Coventry have had more ball possession than Sheffield United. They've had 57 ball possession, 43. But it's the goals that count, doesn't it? So tomorrow we've got in the championship we have these are early kickoffs. We've got Hull against Luton. That's pretty much of a 6-pointer game sort of, and it got Watford Plymouth, and these are 3 o'clock kickoffs. Burnley v Bristol City. That's going to be a tasty game. So could Coventry City get out of jail free with that one? Burnley against Bristol City, meaning that there's a hard task there for Bristol City to beat them to knock Coventry out. Cardiff Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, Leeds Swansea. That's 3 o'clock. Middlesbrough Oxford. You can see Middlesbrough winning that one. And West Brom have got a tricky tie away to Norwich. Portsmouth home to Blackburn. Stoke at home to QPR, and little old Sunderland's at home to Millwall. And like I say, I'm just looking at that league table now, and it looks like a set in stone. Sheffield United have got that in it, but 5, 6, 7. Even Middlesbrough is still sort of in the chase, you know, for the playoffs. But West Brom and Bristol City and Middlesbrough will be certainly rubbing their hands tonight with that scoreline so far. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, still 2-0.
Big game for Bristol City, isn't it? Well, actually,
yeah, I know.
Really.
D Hall says, I'd love to see us shut Alex Neil up tomorrow. Yeah, wouldn't we all? He says, my lineup for SAFC Millwall, he says 4-3-3 attack. He says Pato, Hume, O'Nien, and Meffin Anderson. Neil, Brown, Job, Mienda, Isidore, and Mundell. Do you know, I was just looking at the league table. Let's just have a look and see where Millwall. I mean, they're on 51 points, sorry. That's a long way away from the playoffs, isn't it? They are. And the last 4 games, they've won, lost. And the next 4 back in the 22nd of February. They won, drew, lost. And then they had that good spell. Because they beat Leeds in the FA Cup, they won 2-0, and then they beat Millwall 2-1, beat Portsmouth 1-0, beat Luton 1-0. But apart from that, they're not special, mate. They are not special at all. And we're going to go for the form guide. Burnley are currently top of the championship for the current form. Coventry have slipped down to second, with Bristol City a third. Middlesbrough a fourth, Sunderland a 13th, so they're way down a 13th, which seeing that Leeds a 9th off top, and look how powerful they were. They've got like 8 points after the last 5 games. Sunderland have got 7 from their last 5. So it's Burnley, Coventry, Bristol, Middlesbrough, and Sheffield United who are holding their own at the minute. Millwall, where I say they're 8th. So it's not good reading from Sunderland, really, is it, for where they're actually at for the form guides and stuff. But some say I'm not surprised, because we have been absolutely Irish dogs diarrhea. I don't know. Packer Andrew's going to go for the score prediction. He's going to go for 3-0 tomorrow. Oof, that's a brave one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Hope so.
I'd like to see the crowd get up for it as well, but I was on Total Sport on I think it was yesterday, and I said the atmosphere at the stadium, like, it's weird. I think it's because the fans are like the sort of like, well, the top 2's gone, and we're sort of in the playoffs. It's like end of season feel already. Do you know what I mean? Job done in this league so far, even though it's not mathematically true or possible. We're not in the playoffs, but like I say, unless a massive collapse, it's almost like the fans have sort of like, oh well, that's the season gone now. That's the season not gone. The season's over. For top two, it's the playoffs, and it's a kind of like, not that the next few games don't matter. It's like they haven't got that excitement, that vibe. But imagine if we were chasing the top two still and we're only a couple of points behind. Imagine how the stadium like possibly would be on fire. But I just think it's okay, job done in the playoffs. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting around the club at the minute. And I do think that's with the players as well. I really do. Marco Gabbiadini disagreed. He thought, like, he says, well, in my heyday when I played, he says, we weren't like that. He says, we played for every game as if it was a cup final. He says, didn't matter whether we were solid enough in the playoffs or we'd consolidated this place in the league. He says, we just went out and wanted to win every game. It just...
That's the way it should be. Mm-hmm.
Of course it should be, Richie, and it's a dangerous thing to say, to do, because the fact, like, you can't, like, just turn off your form and then turn your form back on when you feel like it. And this was what, like, Anderson from Total Sport was saying. You know, you can't just turn your form up. He says you're best off going into the playoffs in good form and being confident than the other way around. John Parr says, if Spurs have made a base bid for 38 million, other clubs wouldn't be interested in Rig if they wouldn't try to top that offer. That's
a point.
Ollie says, my prediction is a Desmond Tutu, Isidore and Migenda, and for them, Connolly Brace. Thomas Donahue says, breaking news, Pep Guardiola agrees a 7-year deal at Sunderland. I wouldn't want him, he's crap, isn't he? He's been terrible for Man City this season. Why would you want Pep Guardiola? No way. Packer says, this is a question for Richie. He says, who was your favourite player and what is the reason why for Sunderland?
My favourite ever player for Sunderland, or my favourite player now? Well,
I'll go for favourite player now. Let's go for it.
My favourite player now from this season. Do you know, I've said Dan Neil all along, but I'm a little bit disappointed with Dan Neil at the minute. So because I'm in a huff with Dan, because I'm in a bit of a huff with him, I think I'm going to go for Mundle. You know, I've been very impressed with Mundle this season. But obviously, he has a bit of time out, but when he's been on the pitch, what a difference he is making. And I think Job as well. Obviously, when he's been on fire, he's been another player for me where I thought, you know, he's absolutely outstanding when he's on top of his game. So it's kind of hard to pick between them three, but I think obviously Dan Neil's always been my number one, I think. So, I mean, what would you reckon then, Cabbie?
Yeah, I do think Mundle is a good shout. I mean, everybody seems to be focused on Isidore because he's such a character and he's been scoring some decent goals and stuff as well as missing sitters. But, you know, the minute Mundle was injured the first half of the season, Sunderland just weren't the same team. They weren't, and he's just such a rock. He's such a mountain, isn't he? He's such a big presence to cause the defence's problems.
He's a big flair player as well, Mundle.
Yeah.
You can't predict some of his movement like Jack Clark was, you know.
But you can't just... You've got to all work as a unit. For Mundle to shine, you've got to have the players behind him playing. It's the same for Isidore. You know, Patterson from the back, he's got to be on form, commanding his box. You know, making some good clearances. It's that Coventry game. You can't say anybody's shone, because I don't think even if there's one player on their best against Coventry, because the whole team were just that bad. There was nobody shone up. Mundle couldn't do anything because there was nothing getting provided for him. Same with Isidore and stuff. We were just that much of a shambles. We couldn't string a pass together. We couldn't even get a move going. it was just awful, weren't it?
Positive though to see the feedback today. Did you see the training video that they released today?
I didn't. I will watch it. Oh, Sheffield United are now 3-0 up.
So that's game over.
That's just weird. That's just weird, isn't it? That is weird. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. I was expecting Coventry to at least put up some. You know, I just didn't understand. I mean, let's say Coventry against us, then Coventry against Sheffield United. Like, dare I say, what's the difference? The difference is the fact, like, we were up the dog's crap, and Sheffield United are doing a professional job. But it's you look at results like that, don't you, and you say, like, well, are Coventry all that? Do you know what I mean? And some Coventry fans says, you know, when they put them 5 wins on the bounce, but Coventry were playing mediocre teams in that run. They were playing like the likes of the Lutons and the Hulls and the Cardiffs and things like that. But you still got to do it. Yeah. Ollie says, Cabbie and Richy, what is your favourite SAFC game? What you've been to or to watch?
Oof. Yeah, me. Ever. Woo-hoo. I'll let you go first this time, Cabbie.
Well, the favourite game I've been to, for excitement wise, was when we were 2-1 down against Huddersfield Town with just minutes to go. And this was the cheer up Peter Reid era when we were wanting to be top of the league to get promoted. And Michael Bridges came on. I think it was one of his first appearances as a sub, and he came on and he scored 2 cracking headers in the last few minutes. And I still remember this day. I just went mad. The Roker Park just went absolutely nuts. But I mean, when I lived in Sunderland at Roker Park, there was just that many games I went to. I went to the lot, every single one, and there was that was a magic season. That when we got promoted as champions, when we were in the old Division 3.
There was I was only a weird nipper, like, but I remember the buzz. It was unbelievable. it was brilliant.
What's like when we beat West Ham? Was it 4-3 with Kieran Brady when he ran the show? That was an awesome game. And the best game I've watched, to me, it has to be the Wickham final at Wembley. I mean, you're not going to get anything. Well, yes, you're not going to get anything as big as that, are you? I mean, nearly 50,000 Sunderland fans, and to see the team, whether you were there or not, to beat Wickham 2-0, you know, that was class. You know, I mean, that was really good. And if we do that again to get into the Premier League, well, freaking hell, don't even think of that. What's yours, Rich?
I've got 2. So I was there for the 3-0 against the Mags when we had the Canio.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and that day it wasn't, you know, just a Mackem Cabbie. It was my first ever away derby. Like I've never really go to away games. I was just looking to get a ticket for that game. But just marching up through Newcastle, getting to the stadium, getting in the stadium, and just it was one of them games where I just couldn't believe my eyes. I just couldn't believe what was happening, and like. Just even now, I've just got like goose pimples. It was just seeing us smash them 3-0 in their backyard, and it was just when that David Vaughan goal went in, the celebration on the side. My God, it was just. I don't even remember what happened, but I come home with a fair few bruises. Let's put it that way, because obviously I had a few tipples, you know. So that one definitely still, I think that'll stay with me for the rest of my life. The other one's when we beat Chelsea. Now, I'm trying to remember the score here because it was back when we were in the Premier League. And I remember sitting in the Roker end at Sunderland, but I did have a few drinks as well that day, so I think we beat them 2-0. Now, I think it was at the start of the season. I'll have to look it up. But I remember that I've still got good memories from that game. And I think I was a little bit starstruck as well, seeing the likes of like Frank Lampard and John Terry and players like that. It was great, you know. But I'll look that one up because I'm trying to remember. But I remember I was at that Chelsea game and it was amazing.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant, brilliant memories. Well, we will nearly be just about shutting up shop. I'm going to get me tea. D. Hall says
Right.
Humes had a decent season. He certainly has. Hall says Mienda should be full of confidence after his under-21 call-up for Spain. The Packer Andrew says, I like Mienda. He was not a Sunderland fan's favourite route, but now he's a legend now in my eyes. And Ollie says, mine is Leeds at home Friday night in October earlier in the season where we were 2-1 down. In the 97th minute, Brown scored when I absolutely went mad. See you have a good rest of your night, he says. Bye-bye, says Ollie. I'm trying to think, what was that in mine? Is that Leeds at home Friday night in October? Oh, is this when... is that he's on about when the keeper made a fumble? 97th minute. Oh, yeah, of course. That's why I was getting confused because it was Brown. But anyway, Rich, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to get me tea. Cheers for holding the fort before. It's just one of those things. And you'll be doing the stream tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll pop on. Yeah, I've got a day off tomorrow, so that'll be nice to have a bit crappy and have a bit crap with everyone else. So, cheers, everyone. Have a good night. See you in a bit, Cabbie.
Yeah, cheers, dear. Richie, thanks a lot, mate, for your help today. And Davey Walks is 2-2 game earlier this season. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see you later. D. Hull says Sunderland v Chelsea Premier League 3-0. That was quality, wasn't it? So, sorry about the sound issues before, but we made it.